Good morning and welcome to Farm Factor. I'm your host, Jamie Bloom. Today, Kyle Bauer is in San Antonio and visits with Tyler Bradon with the King Ranch. Learn about their cattle operation and how they fund expansion. Next up, Greg Akagi brings us the Kansas soybean update. Then Duane Toews visits with Alfonso Navarro with the Mexican Consulate in Kansas City. Find out why the Kansas City location plays an important role in Kansas agriculture. Then find out what's going on around the state with the Kansas Farm Bureau update. And to wrap up, it's Plain Talk with Kyle and Duane. It's all coming up on Farm Factor. Stay tuned.
Closed captioning brought to you by Ag Promo Source. Together we grow. Learn more at agpromosource.com.
I'm Bob Swartz, and I've devoted the last 43 years to helping Kansans reach their retirement goals and to protect the family farm. At Bob Swartz Financial, we believe everyone should be able to live the retirement they've always dreamed of. Our team of professionals can help you create an efficient strategy using a variety of investment vehicles to help you address your financial needs and your concerns. Bob Swartz Financial values commitment and transparency.
Kansas Farm Bureau has served farm families and rural Kansas for more than 100 years, and we're pleased to offer new healthcare coverage choices for Kansans in 2020 through Kansas Farm Bureau health plans. No matter what stage of life you're in, we'll have options that fit your lifestyle. Plus, our network of providers is one of the largest available throughout the state of Kansas and beyond. For more information, including the different plans available, or to get a quote, visit kfbhealthplans.com.
This segment brought to you by Kansas Farm Bureau, the voice of agriculture. To join today or for more information, go to kfb.org or find us on Facebook and Twitter.
Welcome back to Farm Factor. Up first, Kyle Bauer is with Tyler Bradon from the King Ranch.
Hi, this is Kyle Bauer. I'm visiting with Tyler Bradon. I got a chance to visit with, or listen to his presentation while I was at San Antonio at Cattle Convention. Tyler, you're with King Ranch. I listened to you talk about enterprise analysis, but let's talk just a little bit about the King Ranch and how you operate to fund expansion.
Yeah, so my name is Tyler Bradon. I oversee the cattle operations for King Ranch. We have a fully allocated cost management system, so 100% of the cost we incur on the ranch is allocated to our profit centers. And I think it's really important to do that, to be able to really track your profitability, make sure one enterprise isn't subsidizing another enterprise, and really be able to dial in where your areas of opportunity efficiency are and which enterprises are truly making money for the operation. And then that gives you the opportunity to take that and look for expansion or growth opportunities as well.
One thing I was struck with listening to you is absolutely every cost, though, needs a home. You have to attribute every cost somewhere in some enterprise on the farm or ranch.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. You have to account for it somewhere. So you either set up your profit center or support center. So when you make an acquisition, if you need to split that and where that cost goes against which enterprise, you can make those assumptions. But it does need to be allocated somewhere, and really against enterprises that are truly incurring those costs and utilizing that resource or the asset that you've purchased.
You made a comment about people doing profit analysis with their tax preparer or something along that line. Can you expand on that just a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, everyone has to have a CPA, but they have to remember that individual's sole purpose is to manage their tax liability. It's not to be looking for the overall profitability of the ranch. And one of the things that frustrates me is at the end of the year, CPAs tell someone, go, you need to spend some money. Well, the impetus of that direction is to manage their tax liability, but the problem is oftentimes people take that as an excuse to go out and buy the newest, latest, greatest, and what they end up doing is inflating their depreciation on their operation that has to carry that in future years. And so it really burdens the ranch. I mean, when we look at operations, feed, labor, and depreciation are always our three largest line items, and depreciation especially has a very steep curve, and so that really ends up having a lot of deleterious long-term financial effects on the ranch. You need to manage that depreciation. If it's an acquisition that really manages or really provides payback and value, then that's great. Maybe it's a good time to make that purchase. But doing it just to manage tax liability isn't the right way to deploy that capital oftentimes.
I was surprised when you did the analysis on expansion, how it appears there's a very good reason a lot of people expand, because truly those incremental increases can be, not always, but can be very profitable.
That's absolutely right. It's important to look at it on a contribution margin basis. We're in a fixed cost business, and there's almost always more opportunity to affect profitability by managing costs than there is by adding value. And one of the best way to do that is, add widgets, add number of cows, animal units, so you have more units to spread your fixed cost across.
We're visiting with Tyler Bradon. He's with the King Ranch. This is Kyle Bauer reporting from San Antonio.
Thanks, Kyle. After the break, it's this week's Kansas Soybean Update. Stay tuned.
Welcome to the Western Kansas Wildlife Travel Center, right here in my hometown of Oakley, Kansas. We're the front door of Western Kansas, located on 3 main highways, I-70, US 83, and US 40. And all those roads lead to history, beautiful scenery, and adventure, no matter which direction you go. We now have an IHOP. That brand that you've trusted up and down the road in all your travels is staffed with local folks, real people, just like you and me, and we're waiting on you to join us. So for fun, adventure, fuel up, fuel your body, and let's have some fun.
Kim Mannering with Hardy Insurance. Today we will talk about umbrella coverage. Did you know that if your cattle get out, you could be held liable for that? Call me. Let's have a discussion. 316-945-6733.
This segment brought to you by the Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff. Progress powered by Kansas farmers.
Welcome back to Farm Factor and the Kansas Soybean Update.
This is the Kansas Soybean Update. It's brought to you by the Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers. Keenan McRoberts is joining us. He is Vice President of Meal Strategy with the United Soybean Board. And Keenan, I know for U.S. soy industry, there is a big initiative right now talking about Protein First to help many across the world. Can you explain what Protein First is?
Protein First is an initiative together with the United Soybean Board and partners like the American Soybean Association, World Initiative for Soy and Human Health, and U.S. Soybean Export Council that really identifies the critical role of protein in global population growth and global nutrition. So through this platform, U.S. Soy is reaffirming its commitment to animal agriculture while also positioning U.S. soy as a preferred protein in the plant protein space.
Because there is demand for that throughout the world as well.
Yeah, that's right. So really, global demand for protein is driven by what is currently a supply-demand gap in emerging economies, and that growth is going to continue over time. To feed a population of 9 billion by 2050, we've got to focus on growing all sources of protein to supply that gap in a sustainable way, and U.S. soy plays a critical role in that process.
And that relationship with animal agriculture, as you said, growing the protein across the world, you have to have that relationship.
Yeah, absolutely. As economies grow, growing middle class, the increase in consumption of animal-sourced protein is a key part of protein demand growth. So really, we're reaffirming our commitment to animal agriculture partners through this Protein First initiative, while acknowledging that we play a critical role both in the plant and the animal protein space.
What's the biggest way that you do promote that across the world?
So really through our partners with the U.S. Soybean Export Council and the World Initiative for Soy and Human Health, those are the entities that are focused on protein demand growth in those emerging economies, including in places like sub-Saharan Africa.
And that's big because of the fact that very much a need for protein in those areas too.
Yeah, absolutely. I mentioned before the protein supply-demand gap. So protein requirements currently and the demand that would be created by those ideal requirements are less than what's available in those economies. It can't be supplied through local sources, so that creates an opportunity for trade. And U.S. agriculture can provide that trade component, that supply of sustainably produced protein that can feed that growing population in those emerging economies.
All right, Keenan, we appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
That is Keenan McRoberts, Vice President of Meal Strategy with the United Soybean Board, who joins us on the Kansas Soybean Update. It's brought to you by the Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers. Learn more at kansassoybeans.org. For Kansas Soybeans, I'm Greg Akagi.
After the break, Duane talks with the Mexican Consulate out of Kansas City about the role it plays for Kansas ag businesses.
Sure Crop Fertilizers was started by my father, Don Sherman, and my mother, Shirley Sherman. Family business that started in the 80s. We predominantly focus on plant nutrients and what we can do to give growers better responses with the fertilizer dollars that they do, and what we can do to make those things work better for the grower. We're based out of Seneca, Kansas. We work with growers in their soil analysis to figure out what they need, and then we can put those in a blend that gives them the best results, and so that we can deliver that direct to their farm so that they have those nutrients where they need them, when they need them, and so that they can apply them in a manner that's very efficient to them and works well in their planting systems and what they're doing. Sure Crop Fertilizers has been around for a long time. We always say we're big enough to take care of everything you need, but yet we're small enough to do it quickly. You can get a hold of us at 1-800-635-4743. Our website is surecropfertilizers.com, and you can always email me at Corey@surecropfertilizers.com, and with any questions you have, we're glad to answer it and work with you.
Clyde Sutton, Ness City, Kansas. Lived on this place all my life. About a year and a half ago, got to where I couldn't saddle a horse. The pain was terrible. Read about stem cell. First it wasn't for me, then they started doing neck and back. Went and had it done. As you can see, I saddled a horse. I'm still building fence. Love to shoot a shotgun rifle, and I'm able to participate, not like I used to, but nevertheless I can do the things I used to do, and life is good.
This segment brought to you by Sure Crop. Liquid crop nutrition delivered right to your farm.
We're back. Let's go to Duane Toews, who is talking to Alfonso Navarro with the Mexican Consulate in Kansas City.
Duane Toews joining once again on the program. An opportunity to catch up with Alfonso Navarro Bernacci, head consul at the Mexican Consulate in Kansas City, Missouri. Alfonso, talk a little bit about the consulate and the goals for having that located in the central part of the country.
Yes, the Mexican Consulate in Kansas City actually covers a consular district that encompasses both the state of Kansas and Missouri, as well as western Oklahoma. In that big area, it's almost the size of Spain, so it's a large territory where we, certainly part of our business is serving the Mexican communities living in different areas, from Liberal or Garden or Dodge City, all the way to Wyandotte County, and certainly also other parts of Kansas City Metro. So that's part of our business, but certainly a very, very important activity is the one related to reaching out to relevant stakeholders, to members of the several industries that conduct business with Mexico, and certainly have Mexico as a top export market.
You had a presentation that you talked to growers about that important connection between Mexico and Kansas, and it's a big business, big industry. Talk a little bit about how those exports from Kansas get to Mexico then.
Yeah, back in 2018, those are the most recent figures available. Mexico became Kansas' top export market, with Kansas selling to Mexico more than $2 billion a year, and Mexico exporting almost $1 billion. And a very important part of this trade between Kansas and Mexico is related to the ag industry, particularly corn. More than 90% of Kansas corn that is exported to the world go to Mexico, as well as pork, meat, and other agricultural products. So in dealing with this dynamic relationship, it's very important to have a close communication with the members of the industry, particularly now that the USMCA has been ratified. The idea is having this 2020 year to improve the business opportunities and building bridges of understanding between Mexico and Kansas.
Do you have a feeling or perspective, the phrase, all ships rise with a rising tide? Obviously, we've heard about what the United States is going to get out of the USMCA. Do you have a feeling what Mexico feels like they're going to gain?
Yeah, certainly. I guess the case of USMCA will set the standard for coming international trade treaties in the world. So, because this is a win-win-win situation for United States, Canada, and Mexico. And in the case of Mexico, to answer your question, we basically got three very important topics for Mexico. We were able to negotiate a robust dispute resolution system that was a situation in which NAFTA was involved because we were not able to establish a proper dispute resolution system. So that would be the first. The second one is certainly get a very important enhancement of the labor right protections in Mexico. That was a commitment that Mexico was taking care of since 2017, but certainly under the USM negotiations, we were able to enhance those labor protections, particularly union democracy and other provisions. But now with this situation, we are also able to protect the rights of Mexican workers in the United States and certainly Mexican workers in Canada and workers of all North America, because the idea is having North America as the most competitive and the most integrated region of the world. And the third outcome is certainly being able to establish a more balanced systems in terms of biomedicine. That was also a pending issue during the first negotiation of USMCA. So those are the major results for Mexico, but if you examine the USMCA as a whole, there's a lot of advantages when you compare it with the results that we were having with NAFTA after 25 years of operation.
Certainly thanks to the head consul, Alfonso Navarro Bernacci, with the Mexican Consulate in Kansas City, joining us on the program. Jamie, we'll send it back to you.
Thanks, Duane. Come back after the break for the Kansas Farm Bureau update.
What if U.S. soybean meal were more than a commodity? If seed companies and the soybean checkoff built a better variety? That future is here. The time is now. To meet end-user demands, the soybean checkoff is investing in the compositional quality of soybeans, including meal. A message from the Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers.
My name's Karen Cope and I have multiple sclerosis. When you have MS, on the outside you look great, but you know what's really going on in the inside is chronic body pain, chronic fatigue. And there's lots of days that I'd wake up and say, oh, please God, help me get through this day. You know, after stem cells, Chloe, my youngest daughter, she was asked by my father-in-law, how's your mom doing? And Chloe said, Grandpa, I've never had a mom like this before, because she was 8 when I was diagnosed, and she really had no other memory of me but being sick. It's really the simple things that we do as a family, like play cards and to be able to win at cards. You know, they all laugh because I used to repeat myself and say, what hand are we on? You know, where are we at? And it's just been really a true blessing from God, and we're really thankful.
Kansas Corn reminds you that E15 fuel is the right choice for every kind of driver. For the car enthusiast, E15 has higher octane. For the thrifty driver, E15 is priced lower than regular unleaded. For the nature lover, E15 provides cleaner air. For the shopper who buys local, E15 has more ethanol from our Kansas corn farms. Choose E15 for a higher octane, lower price, cleaner American fuel. Message from the Kansas Corn Commission. Learn more at kscorn.com. Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
ValleyVet.com, ValleyVet.com, Valley Vet Supply.
This segment brought to you by Kansas Farm Bureau, the voice of agriculture. To join today or for more information, go to kfb.org or find us on Facebook and Twitter.
Welcome back to Farm Factor and the Kansas Farm Bureau update.
Austin and Jonna France grew up in rural communities and enjoyed the sense of fulfillment that comes with farming. In 2013, the couple took over Jonna's parents' third-generation farm and have managed the workload of the farm as a team ever since. They currently farm 3,500 acres of land and own 200 cow-calf pairs. Austin has served on the Thomas County Farm Bureau for 5 years. During that time, he has served as secretary, vice president, and president of the board. Jana and the kids have actively helped with YF&R activities and helped pack over 5,000 meals for the local food bank as part of the Farm Bureau County Service Project. The couple enjoys being active in their community. At their local church, Austin serves as a board member, and Jana helps with Vacation Bible School each summer. Their kids also are involved in 4-H, where they help with fair cleanup, deliver meals to local families, and sing Christmas carols at the local nursing homes. Austin and Jana are thankful for the role Kansas Farm Bureau has played in their lives. They are excited to continue their partnership with the organization on the local, state, and hopefully in the future, national levels.
Stay with us. We'll be back after the break with Plain Talk.
The Kansas Wheat Innovation Center in Manhattan is rediscovering ways to get improved varieties and new genetics in the hands of farmers faster. Grower-led and checkoff-funded research initiatives are bringing about positive change. This grassroots leadership provides a strong voice in Topeka and Washington, D.C. Now is the time to partner with Kansas Wheat in moving wheat forward. Kansas Wheat Commission and Kansas Association of Wheat Growers. Farmers investing in their future and yours. Log on to rediscoverwheat.org.
Okay, looks like it's time for our tour. Welcome to the Fort Wallace Museum. Here at the museum, you're going to find some really interesting stuff like our replica stagecoach from the Butterfield Overland Dispatch. We've got facades from the fort buildings. We've got an 1870s flag. There's a plesiosaur that was discovered locally. We've got the Ray pump organ collection. We're a little bitty place with a great big story, and we'd love to have you.
Kansans have a new choice for Medicare supplement insurance plans. With Medicare supplement insurance plans from Kansas Farm Bureau, you have access to 4 levels of coverage, affordable rates, and service from an organization that's served Kansans for more than 100 years. For more information on Kansas Farm Bureau Medicare supplement plans, including rates and to apply, visit kfbhealthplans.com.
Kim Mannering with Hardy Insurance. Today we will talk about umbrella coverage. Did you know that if you're held liable in any type of accident, the judgment can claim your assets? Please give me a call so we can discuss. 316-945-6733.
This segment brought to you by Santa Fe Trail Meats in Overbrook. Let us help feed your family.
Welcome back. Now let's see what Kyle and Duane are up to on Plain Talk.
Hi, this is Kyle Bauer with Plain Talk. With a guy that says if you're carrying a big roll, dress down, not up. Now, why do you say that, and what does that mean, Duane Toews?
You know, if you can't figure that one out on your own, I'm not going to share the secret.
You don't know, do you? Is it the big roll in your stomach?
Dress down, not up.
Well,
I suspect they're talking about that roll around the middle.
You're right.
And you cover it down and not cover it up.
Oh, I could see that.
Yeah. Loose-fitting clothing, and you lay it lays down.
Down, right. You know, when I was a kid, I don't really notice very much anymore, but when I was a kid, there was a number of men that wore their trousers above their roll.
Mm-hmm.
I don't notice it so much anymore. Never thought that was a good idea.
Well,
but that might be the difference between dressing up and dressing down.
They were trying to dress up.
They were dressing up, and they should have been dressing down.
Yeah.
All right. Wow. I had no idea we'd be giving fashion advice on this show.
You know, I mean, people tune into this, and it's amazing what they can learn. As far as comfort goes, from a guy that's gotten one of those in the middle of his body at this point, it's a lot easier just to wear a larger shirt and let it hang over and cover than to try and cinch it in with a belt.
Well, yeah, cinching in doesn't really work.
That's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I mean, you just wear yourself out during the day.
I'll be honest with you, I can't wear a big buckle because of that, because it's like it's
cutting into my belly.
Cutting into my belly. So it's like, how do those guys do that? It's like, I can't do it. It's like before, I have to stand up the whole time. Standing up in the car is hard.
Yeah, it's hard to do that.
It is.
Maintain control. Your fact or fiction question of the day, Kyle Bauer. Excuse
me?
It's easy for me to say.
Exactly.
Cows, goats, and sheep.
Okay.
have no top teeth. Fact or fiction?
You're going to embarrass me here. Well, no. I got to think about this. I've been bitten by more than one cow. No. Okay, do they have a rough palate? Gosh, it's been a while since I've been in the mouth of a cow. You're embarrassing me in public. Stop it. I'm going to go with fact.
It's fiction. They have top teeth.
They all
the
have.
back.
Okay.
They have no front teeth.
Okay. Well, I might have got that wrong anyway. Because I never spent much time in the back.
That's not really true either. Sheep and goat, they have front teeth. They have no top teeth.
But it said top, didn't it?
I said top. I
Okay.
changed it.
Right.
I can't just give it all verbatim and read.
Right, because I've memorized that book. Right.
Absolutely.
I'm going to get me that book and memorize it.
Sooner or later, you'd catch on.
Right. Okay,
Yeah.
so let's get this straight.
They have top teeth at the back. They do not have top.
All of them have top teeth at the back because that's how
Yes.
they do their grinding.
They grind it. You have to grind that grass up. But
cattle don't have, none of them have any teeth on the top in the front.
Correct.
They have a hard
Dental
palate.
pad.
Okay, dental pad.
Yep.
And they they don't chew things up front, they just tear them off.
Typically, they use their tongue and they sweep and pull.
Show me how they do that.
Yeah, no, you're not going to get me to go there.
Come on.
My tongue's not long enough.
Well, that's exactly right. God did not make us like he did cows and horses. Yeah, they use that tongue really as part of the. And I wonder how often do they bite their tongue? Almost never.
I've never noticed.
Well,
one complain about it.
I have seen them in a chute when they're being administered pharmaceuticals.
Okay.
That every once in a while you'll see a bloody tongue, and just like you and I mean, you just have to do the tiniest little nick.
Right.
And, and then with the saliva. But so it does happen. But yeah, I mean, that's a amazing little thing they have. Like whipping around there, drawing that in.
Drawing in that forage.
Exactly.
So.
Isn't it amazing how we can talk and and eat and not bite our tongue very often?
Yeah, but when you do, you know you did it.
Thanks for joining us. I'm your host, Jamie Bloom, and I hope you enjoyed today's show. See you next week on Farm Factor.
Closed captioning brought to you by Ag Promo Source. Together we grow. Learn more at agpromosource.com.
Kansans have a new choice for Medicare supplement insurance plans. With Medicare supplement insurance plans from Kansas Farm Bureau, you have access to 4 levels of coverage, affordable rates, and service from an organization that's served Kansans for more than 100 years. For more information on Kansas Farm Bureau Medicare supplement plans, including rates and to apply, visit kfbhealthplans.com.
Ag Promo Source is a unique group of marketing specialists with one mission: help your ag business grow. Each affiliate has their own area of expertise, and they work together to bring you advice, products, and services. To get started, visit agpromosource.com. Ag Promo Source. Together we grow.